Okay, so normally I do them at night. I'm doing it this morning. It's gonna happen when it happens. Welcome to the Big Irish Vlog. A lot of great responses and more people signing up, and so I'm gonna, try to stay, if not daily, a lot, quite a few a week kind of thing. And epic is the right song because we're in an epic frame of mind. Let's see. Some future stuff that I'll be talking about because people have asked for it is a little bit more on my whole why I named Lawrence Kasdan, Ed Greenwood, and Joe Michael Straczynski as three major influences in my forward for Shankar Legends Arise. And there's a lot of really good information that's written in those sections. So I got to think about what else I want to say there. But I will say this. Lawrence Kasdan needs to be the director for the next Star Wars movies, and if not, he definitely needs to be the guy writing them. Empire Strikes Back. Those three words say it all. People have also been asking me about GM tips and tricks, so some of the Big Irish vlogs will start getting into, my ideas for GM's tips and tricks. Big shout out to Ian Liddle and Applied Vectors. A lot of all the backers have received information on how to get that 25 product bundle that he gave every single of the 380 backers for the Shankar Kickstarter. Oh my God! So Ian, you're the bomb. Enjoy Sky Island. Have fun with it. And you and I will talk about what else we want to do there. Because as I told you, the door's open. I'm really looking forward to having you do some fun stuff with Shankar. I wanted to address something that's kind of throws people off, and it's kind of cool. Where the name Justice in Life came from as the campaign name for the big epic shared campaign. When Grayson's Grey Rangers was founded, and there was no light. It was there in the cosmological background, but it wasn't an overt known thing. So life was the major path / cosmological power kind of thing that was really on the good guy side of things. The power of the druids. There were no good guy priests doing all that kind of stuff. That had not happened because that didn't come about really until, what is she doing back there? She's used the grab chunky thing and okay. Hi sweetie. So anyway, our table, by the way, is so freaking huge. We have to have these things.
Yours is right there.
Oh, there it is. So we have two of these things. This
That's less than $3 ever spent in Marvel.
Yeah, and I've gotten really good at using them.
Disturbingly so.
I can grab like little tiny shaken markers and miniatures off the table with them. So anyway, we would put a gargantuan like this. Oh, divergence. Okay, back to it. So anyway, Justice in Life. Basically the whole history of Grayson's Grey Rangers, when the original Grayson founded them, his whole focus was justice and life. Justice for the people of the wildlands and the promotion of the principles of life. So that's where that comes from, because it's all Grayson's Grey Rangers. Okay, I want to talk about something that's been discussed a lot lately, and I want to get this out there to all of my friends and colleagues in the games industry and hobby about this whole Shawn's claiming to make history. What's up with that, and why is he ignoring all this other stuff? I'm not. And I've written numerous places that what we are doing stands upon the shoulders of giants. That lots of amazing things were done before that inspired what we're trying to do with the Justice in Life campaign concept. However, unfortunately, it seems like some people are kind of hard focusing on he's ignoring what I did and that makes me mad, or they're not getting that he's ignoring that we did this and saying that he's doing all this for the first time. No! There are a lot of things that we are doing that are new and unique, but only because they take what was done and they go another couple of steps forward from that great starting place. So, for example, you all should listen to the Misdirected Mark podcast. Now, again, and if I mention something, it'll be in the show notes, as I like to call them, down in the thing on YouTube. Shawn Merwin was interviewed by Mark and Chris for the Misdirected Mark podcast, which Misdirected Mark has become sort of one of the home casts, if you will. for what we're doing. And they've actually already invited me to come back on and talk some more about this. Shawn Merwin is very much involved with Wizards of the Coast. Was very heavily involved in both the Living Greyhawk and the Living Forgotten Realms campaigns. And did a lot of amazing stuff there. So he told my buddy Mark that about a shared event between two Living Greyhawk campaign events that were going on at two different cons, and they were coordinated by email and cell phone. That's awesome! And I really wish I'd known about it, because I would have totally been talking about this up to now, but I didn't. But it marks a huge event in the shared campaign concept history. We stand, as I have said, over and over on the shoulders of giants with what we're doing. And Shawn Merwin and his colleagues at that time were definitely giants. And not the kind you have to go and cut the kneecaps off and take their treasure. Although they really want to, I suppose, but Shawn probably wouldn't appreciate that. But I do maintain that what we did that night with Rob's Game Group still marks a historical moment. Simply because of what it was, not simply because of what it was on its own, but because it was part of launching something far more elaborate than itself. Where each and every single such game that is run like that, regardless of venue, and regardless of whether or not I'm personally directly involved or not, counts as official and unique in the continuity of the setting of Shinetar. Still, it does seem like a lot of really important things that happened that were history making in the Living campaigns. And this is Living Arcanus, this is Living Shadowrun, and these all these other Living campaigns, whether they were called Living or not, same concept. These events have come and gone without necessarily the rest of the gaming world knowing anywhere near enough about them. I mean, I've done my research and I've missed apparently a lot of stuff. I think that those who are heavily involved in all of those events, they need to come forward and we need to get this information shared somewhere, written down, something, collected, collated. I don't know, and God knows I do not have the time to do this by myself. But I'm more than happy to contribute and emphasize this should be done. Because folks like me, we think these are important, and the rest of the world should know that. These are history making, and they are important parts of the history of our hobby. Shawn oversaw that event. Because he was there, he was able to actually make those two very special occasions official continuity and world changing for what was the Living Greyhawk campaign at that time. And again, you got to listen to the Misdirected Market podcast, and Shawn has some fun with them. I know what's going on, so anybody who's a Justice in Life fan, don't freak out. Okay, it's all good. Listen for real though. He talks about some real history there. Shawn Merwin, you and I would love to have a chat with you about this stuff. I'd like to get you involved, but you may not be able to. We're still with the other stuff. But anyway, love to share notes because you guys did amazing things. Yes, hello phone. I know things are wrong. So I just wanted to get that out there, right? Now, why do I think what I'm doing is so much more special? Well, okay, let's look at it this way. What was happening with those other events, let's just say in this particular case, it's like being able to call in from one campaign to another, and Gary Gygax is there, and he's listening, he's participating, and he's changing the world of Greyhawk based on what's happening in those games. I'm not Gary Gygax. I'm not Gary Gygax. Neither are you. Neither is anybody else. May he rest in peace. But where Shinetar is concerned, I have a similar role. I am the creator of Shinetar. And so all this stuff that's happening, I'm saying, is an official part of continuity. So we're taking it the next step. And they could not do that. Right? It's not like a criticism of anybody else's previous efforts. This is taking it steps forward from there. As the actual creator, I'm going nuts with their ideas and saying, well, I'm the creator, so I can completely embrace these ideas and go way further with them, because this isn't an IP shared by a corporation. This is an IP. I'm the one. So I get to do things they could not do. And I know that. And I thank them so much for inspiring me. That's it. Okay, I want to get that out there, say that. At the same time, I encourage, post in comments below, drop me an email, post online. I don't care, but somewhere get the word out there about what you did or what you know of that happened out there that defines the concept of the grand shared world from the tabletop role-playing side of things. Because this is a history that's not told and should be. While I think we're making that history, we're not creating it from scratch. We are building on a foundation of wonderful stuff that's been done by the group. That's it. I want to hold it off there. I'll get into more other stuff tomorrow because this phone's telling me I got other stuff I got to do. It's a big day ahead of me. It's a big week ahead of me. It's a big life ahead of me. Check out the Justice Life site. Been a lot of major changes there. We have forums now. Check that out. Again, links all down below. And thank you for your support. Have fun. And make sure you get some gaming in this weekend, always.